Okay guys, it is time for a new update here on the Bitcoin price, and I can already tell you yesterday night we not only closed a daily candle, no, we also closed a weekly candle, and with that we even closed a monthly candle, and luckily this monthly candle closed bullish actually. So now let's jump on the smaller time frames to immediately find out what we can expect in the next couple of days from the Bitcoin prices. On top of that guys, after us closing this monthly candle relatively bullish, and also after seeing the price development we had in the last couple of days, guys, I have to tell you there is a massive change to my short hedge position, and I am actually planning to open a new trade and potentially to scale up my swing long positions if a scenario plays out that I am going to present to you in today's video. If you don't want to miss out on that, make sure to subscribe, activate the bell, don't forget to leave a subscription and leave a comment down below. That is something that I really appreciate, and that motivates me a lot to keep these uploads coming on a regular basis when they are needed and when there are new things to see in the charts. But besides that, as always, thank you for liking, subscribing, activating the bell as said, and also leaving nice comments down below. For now, let's jump on the smaller time frames. I definitely already want to update you on one thing. Yes, I closed my short hedge position for now. As you remember in my last video, I told you guys that I would potentially scale it up if we see a confirmed breakout from our long spread M pattern, but I also told you that I will put my stop loss in a profit either way for that trade, just because we were tumbling around that resistance for so long that I don't want to risk this resistance breaking to the upside and me being exposed in a short position pretty much, and risking profits that we did with successful short hedge positions previously. Right now, the last weekly candle closed quite bullish, and what we can already see is that volatility is decreasing quite dramatically. We still haven't made it above the $28,800 level. I know originally I planned to close my short position there, but I actually decided to put my stop loss in a profit. My short position is for now closed. I will explain to you why, and I will explain to you in a second what are the next trades I'm going to open. But in general, we can see that we got rejected from the $28,800 level as expected very beautifully, and that it was not a mistake to actually open up a short hedge position here, because it was definitely a resistance where Bitcoin could have had much more difficulties and still has a lot of difficulties. So this decision was definitely not a mistake, especially because our short position got now closed by the stop loss in a profit, so we didn't take any losses here anyways. But what is happening on the smaller time frames, and what am I talking about? In my last video, maybe you can remember, we were talking about this long spread M pattern. We exactly predicted from here that this movement will play out and that we would see a breakdown below our upward sloping support. The only difference was that in my last video, I told you that I would scale up my trade as soon as we see a confirmed breakout. When is that occurring? I mean, this is occurring when we have a low point, we see a retest of the past support or resistance, depending on if it's a break to the upside or the downside. In this case, it was a break down to the downside, and I told you in my last video we want to see a 4-hourly candle closing below our old low point. Did this happen? No, we only saw wicks, so I also didn't scale up my short position, and that's why I was easily able to place as planned my stop loss in a profit, and that was hit when we reversed here back into this potential ascending triangle. And this is also the pattern I want to talk about now, because as you can see, it will break out in the next 2 to 3 days. And interestingly enough, I mean, in these 2 to 3 days, pretty much in that time where this pattern should break out, we can already see that volatility is decreasing quite heavily. If we see now 2 more days with such low volatility, the price pretty much hasn't moved then for 5 consecutive days in a row. And if we take a look, for example, here when we broke below support and we didn't have any movement for pretty much 4 to 5 days on the daily time frame. After that, we saw massive volatility to the upside. Here, for example, we closed the daily candles below support again, and we had 4 of them again pretty much with no price movement at all. 4 days with no price movement at all. Boom, we saw a massive volatile move. Now we can expect again to see potentially 3 to 4 or 5 days without any price movement directly below resistance. So again, now also we can expect a very volatile move either to the downside or the upside. And to find out what the likelihood of that is, I mean, let's jump back to the smaller time frames, because I can already tell you the likelihood of us breaking to the upside are not too bad at the moment. moment. That's why I also exited my short hedge position for now, till we really find out what is going to happen next. And this will be relatively easy. I mean, if we are seeing the Bitcoin price, the bulls being strong enough to actually break it to the upside, to see a confirmed breakout of the $28,800 support level, and we see a break of the old high point with a candle closing above it, I mean, in this case, for sure, I would scale up my swing long position. I would even think about opening a new long position just for the run up, a long scalp position actually, just for the run up to the $33,000 level, which is then to be expected, or at least a run up to the upper resistance area here of the $31,800 level. Because if we are getting into a resistance zone, the likelihood, even if you get rejected in that zone, that we at least reach the highs of that zone once is very, very high, no matter what. So that's why if we are breaking here to the upside, it would definitely show that the bulls are not scared of this resistance. It would definitely lead to multiple short liquidations and also stop loss triggers if we are breaking here above the $28,800 level significantly, especially with a confirmed breakout. And for me, as I said, this would be a scenario where I would scale up my positions a little bit, because the bulls below resistance were able to remain below resistance, not get rejected. They were able to form a bullish chart pattern. They were even able to break it out to the upside into a resistance area. And this will be the moment where the bears will capitulate for quite some time, and we can expect some more upside to come. The same actually goes for the downside. I mean, if we're breaking here to the downside from this ascending triangle, this would definitely show that the bulls are not in control anymore, because this would show us that although the bulls tried to prepare everything for a perfect break of the resistance zone, they actually failed before they could even manage to reach inside that resistance zone. They got rejected at the very, very bottom of the resistance zone, and even a bullish continuation pattern then broke to the downside. This would for sure show that the bears are in market control, and then we would need to expect the upcoming volatility potentially over the next weekend to lead to the downside. That's why I will just keep you updated on these scenarios. If one of these scenarios will play out, I will open my new short hedge position. So on a confirmed breakdown of this ascending triangle where we break to the downside, we see a retest, we see a 4-hourly candle closing below the old low point. This would be a point for me where I would open up a new short hedge position with my stop loss above the $28,800 level, just to be sure, to be prepared for any kind of fake in wicks or something like that that sometimes occur for Bitcoin. And that's the whole game plan right now. That's the whole that's the charts that I am keeping an eye on. So if you want to do the same, do so. Just keep in mind, this is no financial advice. I'm just sharing what I am planning to do and what I am doing. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, activate the bell, leave a thumbs up so you don't miss out on any future updates here on the Bitcoin price. And also, leave a comment down below. I always appreciate that a lot. But for now, guys, you know what I did with my short hedge position and what my next trade plans and setups are that I'm keeping an eye on right now. So make sure you do the same if you want to, or you are following my channel for quite some time and you trust in my opinion. But as said, no financial advice. Follow your own strategy. That's the most important. Actually, just take this as another input that you are gathering on your decision making for your next trade. Now, guys, we're going to see us. Bye.